Could you please consider subscribing to my channel and giving my video a thumbs up? I'd really appreciate it.
Once upon a time, in a magical garden, there lived a little seed named Sammy. Sammy was a tiny round seed who lived deep in the soil, surrounded by the rich and fertile earth. He dreamt of growing into a big, beautiful sunflower like his mother, who once stood tall and proud in the same garden. One sunny morning, as the birds chirped and the flowers bloomed, something exciting happened. Sammy felt a gentle touch and a warm ray of sunlight on his shell. It was time for Sammy to grow. With all his might, Sammy pushed through the soil and emerged to the surface. He was overjoyed to see the blue sky, feel the gentle breeze, and bask in the warm sunlight. As he gazed around, Sammy noticed the garden was filled with all kinds of plants and flowers, each with its own beauty and purpose. He also saw little insects buzzing around, caterpillars munching on leaves, and colorful butterflies fluttering from flower to flower. It was a magical world, and Sammy couldn't believe his luck to be a part of it. But as days passed, Sammy started to notice something worrying. The tall sunflowers that once stood proudly were now withered and drooping. The other plants in the garden looked sad and thirsty, and the insects could no longer find food to eat. Sammy knew he had a big responsibility to help the garden flourish once again. Determined to make a difference, Sammy set out to find a solution. He rolled through the garden, talking to the plants and learning from the insects. He found out that the garden was suffering from a lack of water and care. Without hesitation, Sammy decided it was his responsibility to save the garden. Sammy rolled over to the watering can and, with all his strength, nudged the handle to release a stream of water onto the dry soil. The little seed found it hard work, but he refused to give up. He watered every plant and flower, making sure they were all happy and healthy. The plants began to perk up, and the insects once again had plenty to eat. However, as Sammy worked tirelessly, he started feeling tired and lonely. He longed for a companion to help him with his big responsibility. That's when he heard a soft and friendly voice coming from the other side of the garden. "Hey there, little seed. I saw what you did for the garden, and I want to help too," said a chirpy little bird perched on a nearby branch. Sammy was delighted to have a new friend. The bird introduced herself as Bella and explained that she could help water the garden by bringing small droplets of rain with her wings. Sammy and Bella quickly became the best of friends and worked together to take care of the garden. One day, as Sammy and Bella were busy tending to the flowers, they heard a worried voice calling out to them. It was Polly, the butterfly. She explained that a strong wind was threatening to blow away the delicate flowers and uproot the plants. Sammy knew it was time to take action. Gathering all his strength and determination, Sammy rolled to the center of the garden and called out to his friends. "We must work together to protect the garden. I believe in us, and I know we can do it." Bella fluttered her wings with all her might, creating a gentle breeze to shield the garden from the strong wind. Polly rallied the other insects, and together they formed a chain to hold onto the plants. Sammy used his round shape to roll around the garden, reinforcing the soil and ensuring that the plants stayed firmly rooted. With their combined efforts, they managed to keep the garden safe from the wind. The sun soon shone again, and the garden was more beautiful than ever before. The plants stood tall and strong, the insects buzzed happily, and the atmosphere was filled with joy and gratitude. The little seed's big responsibility had been fulfilled, and he couldn't be prouder. Sammy and his friends celebrated their success with a joyful dance and sang songs of friendship and teamwork. From that day on, Sammy continued to take care of the garden, and he was never alone again. Together with Bella, Polly, and the other creatures in the garden, they worked tirelessly to ensure that the flowers bloomed, the insects thrived, and the garden remained a beautiful and magical place. And as for Sammy's dream of becoming a big, beautiful sunflower, well, with the love and care he had given to the garden, he too grew into a magnificent sunflower, taller and brighter than any other. He stood proudly, knowing that he had fulfilled his responsibility and made a difference in his little corner of the world. The garden was a true testament to the power of responsibility, friendship, and teamwork, and it remained a happy and thriving place for years to come. And so, dear children, remember the story of the little seed with a big responsibility, and always remember that a little act of kindness can make a big difference in the world.